St. Louis Metropolitan Police giving out 100 tickets in just 10 hours. The goal is to put a stop to what many are calling wild West behavior on city streets. Only on 4, our Melanie Johnson was with officers on their mission to crack down on bad drivers. She's live in downtown at one of those hot spots tonight.
And we have seen St. Louis City Police. They have been very visible tonight. As you can see, it's a very busy night in downtown St. Louis. And we followed them to this hot spot right on Broadway leading up to Busch Stadium. And we saw a lot of people be pulled over for traffic violations and getting tickets from downtown all the way to North St. Louis. And police tell me they plan to extend their operation all the way to the interstates.
The police are out there, the red lights are flashing, and we are trying to change driver behavior.
A St. Louis police traffic squad car busts a U-turn and puts on their siren to catch up to a red car spotted speeding in downtown. Seconds later, the driver stops and receives a ticket on Broadway and Pine.
The laws that are being broken right now, most particular speeding and red light running.
Traffic Commander Paul Lauer tells me this enforcement started this summer. This is the second round this month. On July 6th, SLMPD made 75 traffic stops and issued 166 tickets.
Nowadays, people just seem to become impatient, don't want to wait for the light to change or don't want to have to stop at a stop sign.
Northwest corner on Washington.
According to police, reckless driving has been an issue since the pandemic. News 4 tagged along Wednesday afternoon as SLMPD stopped vehicles in North City along St. Louis Avenue. This officer printing out a long list of tickets for the driver in this silver car.
Us being visible out there and stopping and giving people tickets. So the people that are out on the roads getting the tickets see that, and also just the citizens that are upset about the way people are driving are seeing us out there.
Around the corner, Crown Candy surveillance cameras captured this video of another traffic stop. Not too far from here, police identify an additional hot spot. It was only a few days ago on Monday this fatal wreck happened on Florissant Avenue and Riverview.
The skid marks and seeing the amount of damage that were caused to those vehicles, that there was a speeding car involved.
Missouri State Highway Patrol and St. Louis County Police are partnering with SLMPD to take this crackdown onto the highways. On Tuesday, troopers and city officers issued a combined 236 tickets and made 128 stops.
As you come down 44 through St. Louis County and through St. Louis City, that you're going to see the police out no matter which jurisdiction you're going through.
Now, this special enforcement went on from 11 a.m. this morning until 7 p.m., but they are still out here tonight. As you can see, a very busy downtown, a very busy scene. Expect to see more patrols when it comes to St. Louis County and St. Louis City. They are actually doing it 3 times a month to crack down on reckless and speedy drivers. Reporting live in downtown, Melanie Johnson, News 4.
Melanie, thank you so much for that report.